Hello and welcome back to Seconds Out. My name is Eamon Khan. It's a pleasure to be joined by the magician Anthony Sims Jr. Anthony, good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while, to be fair. How's things with you?
Everything's good, man. Just trying to get back to the main stage, trying to get back in the mix to fight these big names at light heavyweight now.
Yeah, I saw on your Instagram that you're looking to make the move to light heavyweight. We'll get to that in a moment, but a long time, like I mentioned, since you've been in the ring. How's it been, when the cameras are off, when the media don't get to speak to you, kind of dealing with the defeat and getting back on track?
I mean, it's just typical underdog story or comeback story as a fighter. When you lose or things don't go the way that you want them to, you go back to the drawing board and you work until it's your time.
Mm.
So, I mean, that's what I've been doing. My last two fights, the last fight you saw me at Zach Chelly had a broken kneecap. Had two fights with a broken kneecap. One had surgery immediately after the recovery. 100% turnaround. But it's just, I've been waiting in the shadows for my time for the light. So, that's the situation as of now.
What's changed behind the scenes alongside your game and then everything around you as well?
Let's say I fired my old manager. Got a team that's actually behind me, a new coach. My last fight, I was fighting with coach in the corner. Fight before that, I just have a proper team. And people don't understand out on the outside, you're only successful as your team is, as
Mm.
your corner is, your manager, the person creating the contract, the person that's taking care of you. You're only successful as the circle you're in. So if you're in a circle full of selfish people or people that's focused on themselves, you only go so far. So for me, it's been more of just taking care of the business side of boxing. Make sure I have a proper team before I even go to a fight or before I even speak boxing, and make sure everything's set before I step back in there.
How do you feel that you've improved under your new coach?
Man, I feel like I have come around full around. People see me as either I'm a boxer, I was too flat-footed, I don't throw enough punches. Well, now I'm coming all the way around, whether it's inside fighting, outside fighting, um, you know, throwing a lot of punches, being exciting, being active. So, I mean, the coach I have right now, he's bringing out the best in me.
Mhm. And how do you feel at 175 as well too?
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but my first 16 fights were at light heavyweight.
Mm.
When I signed with Matchroom, my first fight was a light heavyweight. That's where majority of my knockouts are and my power. At 168, I was quicker, but I didn't have a lot of pop. I didn't have the pop that, I wanted to get somebody off of me. So at 175, I feel more comfortable with the weight. And there's a lot of names there. I mean, Buatsi, Yardy, Lyndon Arthur, Willie Hutchinson, Bivol, big names. And especially in the UK, I feel like, I have a good following there. I have a name there. Those are some exciting fights to make happen.
Oh, absolutely. And I saw one of your call out videos. It was inventive. It was fun. It was
Oh, yeah.
engaging. I saw that with the nunchucks. Where did you learn to do nunchucks? Must be the Bruce Lee influence, right?
I just saw, I got the Bruce Lee on, but no, I just always liked martial arts. Always liked, you know, all the martial arts. But as far as Ben Whittaker, I've been calling him out as well. Another fighter at light heavyweight that, he has good skills, but let's see how he does with somebody who can crack. You
Mm.
know, I like his talent. I like how he's showboaty. But this is what boxing's missing: the essence of what makes boxing boxing. This guy versus this guy, regardless of promoter, regardless of manager. We're gonna put you two guys in here and see who wins. They're not really giving you that chance right now, as you can see. Well, Turk is. Turk's putting together some big names, but some fights, you won't see happen like Pernell Whitaker Chavez or Magic Taylor Chavez. Those fights that you saw happen like boom. As soon as people wanted it, they got it. The Canelo fight. They want to see Canelo versus who? They want to see Canelo and Benavidez. They want to see Canelo and Morrell. Fights like that. Unfortunately, you're probably not going to see happen.
There aren't too many people that are actually calling for to be on the opposite side of Ben Whittaker. Why is that something that you want to do?
I mean, that's boxing. I mean, for me, I always believe boxing is 50-50.
Mm.
It only takes one punch to change the outcome. And, I'm not really too impressed by what I see because he just reminds me of a Prince Nassim or Augustus. I think it's Emmanuel Augustus is his
Yeah.
name. But styles make fights. If I want to be the best or call myself the best one day, I have to fight the top names. And I want to fight the top names. It's just a matter of getting me in the ring with these guys. And when they see 20 knockouts on my record, they're like, nah, we're cool. High risk, low reward, or we'll go a different route. So it's just like now I'm in a position where it's hard to get a fight. because they look at my record. I'm coming off of a loss, yes, but they see the 20 knockouts and they don't want, take that chance.
Mm. What do you make of that flashy kind of dancing sort of style?
It's easy to do with someone who can't punch. There's no risk. You got a guy who's throwing pillows and another guy who has pillow hands, then it's just like, a pillow fest. We've seen Whittaker can't hurt, he can't hurt anybody. He can't hit water if he fell out of a boat. Whittaker has good skill. He's a real good Olympic boxer. But if you put somebody in there with power, let's see if he can get away with the same mistakes that he makes, because in boxing, it only takes one. So um, that's why I like to hop in there, because I have that one punch power to put somebody out. Me at 100% at light heavyweight, that is definitely a fight I'd like to make happen.
Let's,
But as you can see,
yeah.
with a forehead like that, I wouldn't fight me either. Okay.
Let's get to some of the other British light heavyweight interests. You mentioned there Lyndon Arthur. How
Yes,
possible could that be made as well too?
it's possible. It's just a matter of the right people speaking to the right people. That's all boxing is. Matchmakers, managers, promoters, all come to an agreement. But a fight like that, or I say Yardy, Buatsi, Willie Hutchinson. There's so many names at light heavyweight that's going on right now. It's ridiculous that I'm not fighting. I feel like I deserve to be in that mix. I deserve to be, mentioned with these guys. One loss shouldn't derail your career, or this is your worth. If that's the case, then you never heard about Roberto Duran after he got knocked out by Tommy Hearns, or Marvin Hagler after he got beat by Sugar Ray Leonard, or Benitez after he got beat by Sugar Ray Leonard. As a professional, your life is built off of phases you go in your career.
Mm.
After defeat, you come back, do it again. After defeat, you come back, you recreate yourself, and you do it again. But it's like, how do you get the opportunity to show, like, hey, this is what I've conquered, this is what I am now, when they don't give you the chance to? So I just want the platform, man. It's like, I'm 23-2 with 20 knockouts. So there's no reason why I shouldn't be in the mix. If I was a bum, then I have a great record to go and, knock this guy out. Put me in there. Put me against this guy. Use me as a building stone. But the fact is, I'm dangerous, and it's high risk, low reward. So they rather go with the guy with the name, or who has the platform, or who's making a lot of noise right now, versus a guy like me, who I will come in there and whoop your fucking ass.
You certainly make a compelling argument, and I for sure want to see you return back in the ring. Just talking more about that British mix of the British fighters at light heavyweight, who would you say would be the toughest fighter to go up against?
The toughest, I would say probably Anthony Yardy.
Hmm.
And I would say Anthony Yardy because skills pay the bills. Joshua Buatsi has a good skill, Olympic pedigree, but after watching him against Azim, I was not impressed. I've seen a lot of loopholes, and I seen what would you call it? He has one speed. I didn't see a change in speeds. It's one speed. And that's fine. But Anthony Yardy, he can switch it up. Unfortunately, his loss in Kovalev, shit happens. Not even unfortunate, it happens. But what I've seen with him in Kovalev, he can switch it up. He can fight inside, he can fight outside, he can box, he can punch. Buatsi, I've seen him just do one thing, go for it the entire time.
Hmm.
So I think Yardy will probably be the most difficult fight, because his skills pay the bills at the end of the day, regardless of how much power you have, what your record is, what your height, your reach. The more you know, the more dangerous you are.
Hmm.
So that's
Who,
my feeling.
who are you backing for the light heavyweight fight this weekend between Josh Buatsi and Willie Hutchinson?
I like Willie. I like Willie. I like to see what Buatsi does with that type of slick movement, because I haven't seen Buatsi fight I say a slick American yet. And Willie Hutchinson is the closest to that. He goes orthodox, he switches to southpaw, he can punch a little bit, he's slick, he's a thinker. Only thing with Willie is he has amazing structure, but at certain times, he's having too much fun. When you're having too much fun, you can leave yourself susceptible for, looping punches. You take a few seconds off your focus and you're, game over. Buatsi, once Buatsi's set on something, he focuses on it. I've seen him fight Spider, and, he's very consistent. He's very strategic, and he gets the job done. With Willie, if Willie catches him with a shot, let's see, maybe Buatsi's pride, he'll stand there and try to trade. I've seen that with Buatsi and Azim. When he gets caught, Buatsi will stand there and try to trade because of his ego. He's a man. That's fine. But if Willie touches him, let's see what happens. But then again, if Buatsi puts the pressure on Willie, and Buatsi puts a pressure like Buatsi fights to me almost similar to like a Mexican. He fights Mexican pressure, but he fights English style.
Hmm.
Right? That type of pressure on Willie, let's see what happens. Because I haven't seen anybody put pressure on Willie where they're able to cut the ring off. So that's my take on it.
Let me get your take before I bring it back to you on also the main event in the form of AJ versus Dubois, who you're
Oh
backing to get their
man,
hands raised.
I like Anthony Joshua, but I like Dubois. Like Joshua, he's a 6'5" big heavyweight. Well, 6'6". Dubois 6'5" heavyweight. Same height, different weights. Anthony Joshua has the power, but then the cons is his chin is a little questionable and his ego. He is stand there and trade when he doesn't need to. And sometimes he fights like a little man when he's a big man. He's a big guy. He should never be fighting squatted down. But his last fight I saw, he showed ring control. He showed a higher IQ and he showed an aggression I haven't seen it before. Now the thing with Dubois, is it Dubois? So make sure I don't say it wrong.
Dubois,
Sorry.
Dubois.
Dubois, okay. He's a very dangerous fighter because he only has one con. He's still kind of green.
Mm.
He's very dangerous. He's very consistent. His recovery is amazing. He's like an Evander Holyfield, but souped up. And after watching him fight Jerry Miller, I thought Jerry Miller was going to walk right through him. But watching him, he learned his lesson against Joyce. He came back. He said, "This is a different beast you're dealing with," and he's young. So I think that Anthony Joshua, best thing he should do is go in there and try to be a big man, use his power as soon as he can. Because if the fight goes the distance in the later rounds, Dubois is going to come back and get him. And that's what Dubois does. You know, he may be a slow start, but once he starts, he doesn't stop. And he's very effective, man. He just gets hits a lot. He gets hit a lot. He gets hit a lot, but he's very effective.
Appreciate that breakdown, Anthony. Bringing it back to yourself. Have you sparred any of these light heavyweights beforehand?
I sparred Bivol. I mean, as far as light heavyweights, that's probably it. You know, as far as George goes back in the day, Benavidez, Zerto Ramirez, other names. But it's just like I'm not even concerned with sparring like guys or just sparring in general. I want to fight so bad because the names I see and the faces I see and the skills I see, I know that if I can't match them, I can definitely surpass them. It's just, you know, my last performance. Let you try to fight with a broken kneecap and see how well you do.
Hmm.
You know, you can't run the whole camp. You got to spar yourself, get yourself into shape. And I hear everyone saying, you know, we don't see the same magician. Well, yeah, I was a broken leg magician. I can only do so many magic tricks. But it's like now I'm 100% effective. I'm 29. I'm in my prime. I'm married. You know, I'm focused. My sole purpose every day is to perfect boxing. You know, every day I wake up is to do that. So it's just like now it's a matter of speaking to the right person to get me on the platform, whether it's a manager, matchmaker, promoter, whoever. I'm a free agent. I have no baggage. I'm 23 and 2 with 20 knockouts. It's like, what else do I need to do? They keep saying I need to get a quick win to get back in there. Well, I just seen Aris Landy Lara and Danny Garcia. They both been an actor for almost 4 or 5 years. Jerry Miller, Andrew Ruiz, an actor for years. Caleb Plant, almost same time as me. So I feel like being inactive is an excuse. That's more of a reason to throw me in there because I've been inactive. Throw me in there, throw me to the wolves, so I can cause an upset. But that's the problem. It's just like I'm not hearing anything. I want to fight on Boxer, Matchroom, Queensberry, GBM, all these promotions. But it's just like, you know, what do I have to do? Who do I have to talk to? What's the case? I'm here in the UK, but anybody that knows me in the UK knows I'm a ticket seller. People are going to come out to see me fight, whether it's win or lose. Still, people buying tickets, and I understand this is a business. So it's just like, let's get together and come to an agreement. You know, I want to fight in the UK. It doesn't make sense for me to fight here in America. I'm not really a household name here in America. Majority of my career is built in the UK. I became the magician in the UK.
Hmm.
So it's just frustrating at times because it's like I've hit this brick wall, and it's just like I'm not hearing anything. But I'm seeing all these fights happening. I'm seeing my messages get read, and it's like I can knock out majority of these guys. If not, I'll box them. But it's just like, just give me the chance. I just need the chance, you know, one and done. So I can show the world like I'm the goddamn magician for a reason. You know, y'all gave me this name for a reason. But it's just like, how do I practice magic tricks when no one's looking, you know? It's like I'm ready.
Very well said. Just let me rewind a little bit back. You said you sparred the likes of Bivol before. Could you let me in on what that experience was like?
It was fun. I felt like it was like fencing, like Olympic fencing. That's what I felt like it was. Everything came down to calculated movement, whether it was a flinch, a blink, breathing. Everything had to be thought of. It was like it was chess. It was a chess match. If I go back and do it again, man, if I could fight him, that'd be great. Me and Mariah, we're good friends, but like fighting him would be amazing too because as a fighter, you get to a point in your career where this is what you want to think about. It's what you want to recollect on once you walk away from boxing. And it's like I don't have those big names yet that I can recollect on. Like I want to be able to say I fought Bivol, I fought Benavidez. If I walk away with a busted nose or a busted, fucking broken jaw, whatever the case is, like that's part of boxing. But this is what you live for, you know. And it's like you get to a point in your career where it's like, you might lose, you might get knocked out, you might get clipped, but it's what the fuck you live for, You live for that aspect of boxing, for the bloody, grueling wars. So I would love to have that with one of these fighters. It's just a matter of like, who wants to fight the magician? Do you want to fight the magician?
I'll pass. I've been doing a little bit. I've been doing a little boxing training. Actually, I've just come back from a burner session. I had the sweatsuit on and everything, and
Oh man.
I weighed myself beforehand and afterhand. I'm trying to, get in a little bit of a taste of what you guys do, but obviously not to the level of you. But I definitely won't be fighting you anytime soon. Just let me know though. What was your having sparred Bill? Or what's your pick for the Beterbiev fight?
So it comes down to the size of the ring and how good Beterbiev, what is his Achilles he ripped?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, it comes down to his Achilles. The size of the ring and Achilles. Beterbiev is a very strong fighter. It'll benefit Bivol if it goes into later rounds. He's a boxer puncher. He boxes off the back foot, very effective doing it. High ring IQ, but Beterbiev, he has one punch power. He can end the whole fight, like devastating power. But is it the same Beterbiev? After injury like that, is he going to be as mobile? Is he going to be as fluid? We won't know until they get in there. But I'm excited, man. You got this is the fights we live for. Two killers. It's like Camacho Chavez, like two kind of punchers that you want to see fight that you don't see too often. I didn't think I was going to see this fight. I thought these guys would retire before the fight happened. So this is great to see. This is great for boxing.
Anthony, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Not to say that you needed to win me over, but you definitely won me over with the way you spoke, and I definitely want to see you back in the ring very soon against some of the British light heavyweights. I'll leave the final word with you. What do you want to say to any of your rivals? I'll leave the floor with you.
Ben Whittaker, every time you look in the mirror and see your forehead and say juicy, I want you to think of this motherfucker right here.
Anthony, thank you so much for making the seconds out. We'll catch up very, very soon.
All right.
Good man.